Hey guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. So Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 is the sequel to the Hunger Games movies, Hunger Games and Hunger Games Catching Fire, based off of the books, which I've read like 3 years ago. I still remember it though. I have a good memory of the books. And yeah, of course, now this is directed by Francis Lawrence. The first one was directed by Gary Ross, and now Francis Lawrence came back to return after Catching Fire, and the story takes place, slight spoilers maybe for Hunger Games Catching Fire. I'll try to do best non-spoiler. So after the Quarter Quill Hunger Games, Katniss is now in District 13 with a whole bunch of other people that were either presumed dead or not. Like, something big happened in the capital. The Hunger Games got canceled, and and now she's in District 13. Peeta's away from her, played by Josh Hutcherson. Now she's with, like, Gale, Haymitch, Effie Trinket, stuff like that. And now she's in District 13, and now they're doing propaganda videos to be like, hey, Capital, let them go. And so, like, it's a war, but it's a war of, like, propaganda and stuff like that. And that was very interesting. For one, I was looking forward to this movie. I like the first two movies a lot. The first one's a really good movie. The second one's a great movie. And this one is a pretty good movie. I would say it's very good. Really, it's a well-made film. And I enjoyed it. It did it. I was worried if the part one and part two, it shouldn't have been like that. But you know what? It was actually okay, and it was actually still good. There was still some interesting stuff. I still didn't feel like they needed a part one and part two, but who am I kidding? But yeah, it's really, it's good. It's a good movie. The best thing is the propaganda stuff, the war between the capital and them. That stuff is great. I really enjoy it. But there's some stuff where it's like, oh, this feels underdeveloped. Oh boy, man, it's like, did this really need to be split into two parts? And it's not awful. It's not like I hated myself watching this movie, or like even, it's not even it's a good movie. It's just like, did it really need to be? It feels unnecessary. That's basically what I'm trying to say. It feels like a cash grab. It doesn't need to be a cash grab. It doesn't need to be this way. The acting's still good. The directing's still good. It just didn't need to be that way. Like, it really didn't. That's the biggest part. Jennifer Lawrence is still great. All the acting is great. Jennifer, and like, she's great. All the other, like, half of the characters, like, Julianne Moore has a very meaty character in the book, and she's, like, barely in. Like, she's in there, but, like, it's like, okay, and, like, I love Julianne Moore, and she does a really good job, but, like, I'm hoping in part two she does better. I'm hoping part two is better. This might change. If part two's great, I might like this movie more. If part two sucks, I might like this movie even more. I don't know. I have to wait for part two to come out next year to see it. It's nice to see Philip Seymour Hoffman again, like I said. But yeah, this is still a pretty good Hunger Games movie. A good follow-up. Didn't need to be split into two parts, but yeah, I guess we'll just have to see next year if maybe I don't know. I'm gonna give this movie a B. It's a good movie. I recommend seeing it. It's a well-acted, well-directed movie. It has some good story elements, some bad story elements. It's a B. You know what? I'll give it a B plus. It's a really good movie. It's not great though. It's not like, wow. It's not like Catching Fire, and a sequel shouldn't be. Should be better. Should continue. It continues the story. It's what a sequel should be, but it should be like, oh my god, this is better than the second one. Hoping Mockingjay Part 2 is good. Alright guys, that's my review. Like, subscribe, and bye-bye.